How's it going, people? This is Prime Time. Welcome to the Underground. We're doing a little remodeling here back at the headquarters here at Joey's Underground. And every once in a while, I run, as everybody does, into a best kept secret. Well, people, I have run into North Carolina's best kept secret, and he's sitting here right now in my living room. Come join me right now. Never mind the mess, as the headquarters is going under remodeling. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you guitar extraordinaire, Mr. Michael Green.
What up? From Durham, North Carolina. I've been playing guitar for about 10 years, mostly death metal, heavy metal. Big influence on the piano and classical, neoclassical. That's just what I do all day.
Okay, now you heard what he says. Now, people in the underground, there's one thing I like to mention. This gentleman right here has actually lived in the Marshall Islands, okay? And as you can see, the nuclear waste hasn't done anything to his looks. So all you ladies out there, hey, this is how he looks. But now, okay, let's talk about a couple of things. Now, you were classically trained in piano, and I've heard you play. How did that come about?
Very young age, my mom introduced me to the piano. We had pianos around the house, classical music, violins, and I just picked up on it, and then I found the guitar and related the guitar to the piano, and it started from there.
Okay, now classical music, actually, as people have told me and I've been pointing out too, and I've actually it can relate to like heavy metal and rock and roll music.
Yes.
But now the transgression between the classical music, the piano, and the guitar. I mean, how did that all come about? I mean, how did you get introduced into the music that you actually produce and the music that you actually started off training with? I mean, how did that all come about?
I was growing up with just me and my mom, and she would give me records and CDs of old rock music, and then I would listen to it, and then I just found my way to metal, classic metal, British metal, and then I just picked up on that. I learned how to play the guitar, learned how to read music, and I just went on from there. I listened to a lot of Wagner from classical, and then Yngwie Malmsteen with his neoclassical, and then I just wrote my own stuff on that, and then it transgressed to death metal. But death metal is a very technical type of music that uses influence from Wagner from classical music and all their violins and runs and everything. And that's how I got to there.
But you mentioned death metal. Okay, now there's a big difference between death metal and classical piano. How did the transgression go through? In other words, you're playing classical piano. Mm-hmm. How did the transgression go from piano to death metal? In your own words, I mean, how would you say, would it express yourself? How did it come about?
I just ended up liking death metal. I mean, death metal really speaks to me. It's not normally, songs aren't about death or anything, it's just the melodies, the rawness, and the technicality of it, where you have to have talent to play this. And it's just not easy to play, and it just really spoke to me, as in music wise. It's something that I enjoy and would never give up, if that makes any sense.
Well, it makes a lot of sense. Now, death metal obviously isn't the music for everyone. It speaks to me too, as well as other music. Now, obviously you've received probably criticism about the music you play. Would you like to orate a little bit about some of the criticism that
you
probably
yeah,
received?
Whenever someone comes up and thinks that I'm listening to death metal, it's like, he's up to no good. He does drugs, he breaks the law and everything, which that to me is just classifying me as a troublemaker, which is really not. I mean, death metal has nothing to do with it. Personally, I know the nicest people in the world, and they listen to the Satanist crazy music that I find okay with me. I normally find death metal, like I said, it takes a lot of skill to play that. And like mainstream music, they don't even play their guitars. That's just fake stuff to me. While death metal, they just think they're all no good. They're hoodlums, and that's how they classify me. And you don't even know me yet,
So obviously we're never going to hear you play any Jonas Brothers bullshit.
Hell no.
Okay, that's good. That's definitely okay. Now, right now, presently, musically wise, okay, you have a huge guitar lesson. Excuse me. You have a huge guitar actually collection. Excuse me, folks. Okay.
You're not in this.
Okay, good. All right. Anyway, would you like any message to any aspiring musicians or anything that you'd like to say? Like, I mean, anybody who would like to get into the scene, as far as like playing the underground, like the music that's not the mainstream, the music that you don't hear in your top 40. Any aspiring messages you would actually like to give to them?
Yeah, sure. Be yourself and play what you like to listen to. Don't be worried about the criticism that you're going to get from people. There are plenty of people that like the type of music you listen to. You're not alone. That's the thing about the message in metal is you're not alone in the world to the social norm. There are other people out there that will listen to you and respect you enough to listen to you and will play and pay money to listen to you. Underground music is where the best music is, really. You find the best musicians in the world that have broken their backs, sweat, blood, and tears just to get where they are and to get the talent that they really gotten from, like Yngwie Malmsteen. He grew up in the middle of nowhere, no music lessons, nothing, and he rose to probably the greatest guitarist in the world from underground music, from the Swedish underground music. And then that's just my message, just be yourself. Play what you want to play and don't worry about being criticized.